It's one of those tricky conundrums, Faux Shizzle. How do you search for a job and go to interviews with prospective new employers without your current bosses finding out? What is the etiquette involved there? And is it okay to look for a job when you're still at work with someone else? Image mentor and brand consultant Laurel McClay is here to answer those questions for us. Laurel, good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
First of all, is it instantly bad form because you are using some time at your current employer to find a new employer?
Of course it's not, because they don't own you, do they? They're here and you're doing a great job for them, but we all have to face the facts that we might not stay in our own job for very long, and if we're not going to be able to do it during work hours, when can we do it?
Well, when can you do it if you don't do it during work hours?
I do think that there is an expectation that you could place with the people who are representing you and say, hey, look, I am in this role, particularly for people who are maybe rostered or in frontline roles.
Right.
They literally cannot get out unless they have a little white lie, I'm going to the dentist, I've got something going on. And so say, can I have a job interview first thing in the morning or last
hang on,
night?
that is a huge thing, to go to your employer out of the blue and say, I've got to go to a job interview tomorrow.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm talking about to the recruitment consultant.
To the recruitment consultant,
representing
right.
you. That's right.
Is it ever the right thing to do to go to your employer and say, look, I'm looking for another job, I might need a little bit of time off?
I think it very much depends on why you're leaving. 75% of people leave because of their manager. And timely today with Pink Shirt Day, bullying is a massive challenge in the workplace.
Yep.
So if you're going to let your manager, who's a complete flaming bully, know, well, he's going to make your life, or she's going to make your life hell.
Yep.
However, if it's just that you've outgrown it and that the things have changed, or that you're not happy with something else, why not give them an opportunity to put things right?
Yeah.
And I loved what Paul Ellis said just before. They're going to know, aren't they? You kind of smell it, don't you?
You've got to be careful, because there is that attitude. I remember someone telling me once, years and years ago, a manager of staff, who said, if anyone comes to me, the one thing you never do, and I have never done, is ever try and dissuade someone from leaving. If they come to you and say that they're thinking of leaving or they're leaving, you just want them out the door as quickly as possible, no matter how valuable they used to be.
Thank you, and how refreshing to hear you say that. When in recruitment, you often get the challenge of the current employer counter-offering, and sometimes we're talking about $30,000, $50,000. So I'd be asking that question, why does it take till now to actually start to really value me?
All right, very quickly, let's fly through these tips that you've given us. First of all, don't tell anyone at work. If you can, keep it quiet.
Well, I think there's always instances of people that you trust that end up going and telling the person that you're looking for a job.
Yeah, so just keep it quiet. Never badmouth your current employer.
Well, I think that's pretty obvious, isn't it? And also not people within that industry either.
And also the thing is, the person that you're trying to get a job with, they don't want you to have proved yourself to be disloyal or not honourable, do they? So showing some loyalty to your current employer with your new employer is not a bad idea, I wouldn't have thought. Don't use any of your current co-workers or supervisors as references. Do people do that?
They do, because I think in some instances that the trust is, let's face it, we have extraordinarily great work relationships, don't we? So if it's a great mate of yours, there's sometimes I think you've got to trust.
Yeah. And a couple of small things, it will give it away. Don't dress differently. Don't all of a sudden disappear for periods of time without there being a good reason.
What you can do is you can actually get changed in the restrooms or somewhere like that, somewhere close to the place you're getting interviewed. We can be a little bit smarter about it.
And lastly, don't get caught dressing in the restrooms. All right. Laurel, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you. We'll put all of those tips on the website too, just in case you are hunkering around, deceitfully looking for another employer. All right. Thank you very much, Hilary.